Okay. Where's Lee when I need him? I'll call this meeting to order. At this time, we will have the invocation and pledge of allegiance by Commissioner Maxwell.
Thank you. Bow your head. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for what we have, because what we have is through you. We always say a special prayer for our first responders, whether they're local, state, national, or international. We want to thank also for the employee base that the Fayette County has. What a wonderful employee base, approximately 750 employees. Let them help us make the best decisions for the citizens of Fayette County. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And next item on the agenda is the acceptance of the agenda.
Move to accept.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No proclamations or recognitions this evening, and we will now have public hearings. Debbie?
Thank you. Thank you for your attendance at this public hearing conducted before the Fayette County Board of Commissioners. The Fayette County zoning ordinance requires 2 public hearings for amendments to the zoning ordinance. The first of the 2 hearings is held before the Planning Commission and the second before the County Commissioners. This is the second of those public hearings for the amendment proposal presented today. At each hearing, the board will listen to the concerns of those in favor and those opposed to the case being presented. These public hearings shall be conducted with 20 minutes provided for the applicant and proponents and 20 minutes provided for the opponents of an application for amendment. Staff will present the details of the request. After the presentation, the chairman will ask for those in support of the amendment to come to the podium to speak, and then he will ask for those in opposition to come to the podium to speak. Those with comments should keep their presentation brief, and groups should select a spokesperson so many different viewpoints will have the chance to be heard. When it is your turn to speak, please tell the board your name and address and direct your comments directly to and only to the board. Since these hearings are part of a permanent record, we ask that you speak clearly into the microphone so your comments are properly recorded and can be heard by those in attendance. Please complete the speaker card located on the podium so your name is spelled correctly for the record. The first item is item number 1. Staff is presenting, it's an text amendment TA-0008-25. Requested action is an amendment to section 110-242, powers and duties. This amendment addresses the powers and duties of the Zoning Board of Appeals. It provides criteria for variances for unimproved, non-conforming lots and clarification regarding variances allowed for improved illegal lots. Please refer to the subsequent pages for details of the proposed language. The Planning Commission on September 4th, 2025 recommended approval of this hearing. Staff notes that there are some existing non-conforming lots in the county that do not meet the criteria for minimum lot size in their zoning districts but might otherwise support the development of a single-family home. Staff prepared a graphic showing the required elements for a single-family home on a typical 1-acre lot. This includes a house, driveway, a well with buffer, septic tank, primary septic field, and backup septic field, and there is still space for an accessory structure or a pool to be added to the property in most cases. In addition, the State Department of Environmental Health has a 1-acre minimum lot size requirements for homes served by well and septic system. There are still other variables that affect the approval of the septic system, such as the size of the house and the number of bedrooms, and the presence or absence of suitable soils on the lot, lot shape, and topography. This amendment does not supersede the requirements of the Environmental Health Department, which may have additional criteria depending on each individual project. And that graphic is included in your report. That is based on an actual lot, on a foundation survey for an actual lot, so that we had a good depiction of what those elements, what type of space those elements typically require, and kind of typical conditions on an average lot. And this is simply to amend paragraph C1 to delete the final sentence should the subject nonconforming lot require a well for its water supply, no such nonconforming lot shall be eligible for a variance to the minimum lot size, which would result in such nonconforming lot being less than 1 1/2 acres in size.
All right, thanks, Debbie. At this time, as this is a public hearing, I'll ask if there are any in the room that would like to come forward and speak in favor of this change to the ordinance. Seeing none, I'll ask at this time if there are any opposed to this change in the ordinance. Seeing none, then I'll bring this back to the board for questions or comment.
I'm happy to make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-4 amended chapter 110 of the zoning ordinance, specifically regarding Article 7, Zoning Board of Appeals, Section 110-242.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Dennis, is this, we're changing it from 1.5 to 1. Is this going to take care of some of those problems that we talked about?
Yes, sir. There were some lots that were greater than 1 acre and did not have public water and were unable to do anything with respect to development. This should address the concerns of those lots.
It was a problem because it was less than the 1.5, and this takes it down to 1. And
Correct.
Will be, I think, consistent with environmental health.
Correct.
Is what we're trying to do.
Correct.
And Dennis, as far as I recall, the issue here was that these were for non-conforming lots that would have otherwise been non-developable, and the intent is to allow this change so that these can be developed for a single-family home.
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
The amendment is for the zoning, ZBA to make that determination and not have to submit a plan through planning and go through all that.
Yeah, the ZBA was barred from even considering less than 1.5 acres. This opens the door to allow a variance for a lot to be developed as long as it's at least 1 acre in size.
And I guess my question is, it can go directly, the appeal can go directly to the ZBA or needs to go through the planning process?
Well, if someone finds themselves with a 1 acre lot that's a non-conforming lot, the only way to develop will be to go to the ZBA to get a variance confirming that they have a non-conforming lot of at least 1 acre in size to allow them to develop.
And then they can proceed, don't have to come back through the planning.
Correct.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Buck.
All right. If there's no other discussion, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is public comment. Speakers will be given a 5-minute maximum time limit to speak before the Board of Commissioners about various topics, issues, and concerns. Speakers must direct comments to the board. Responses are reserved at the discretion of the board. Are there any of the audience who would like to step forward and participate in public comment? All right. Seeing none, then the next item is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
A motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And there's no old business, new business. Item number 8. And who is going to carry the water on this one? Okay.
So the next 3 items pertain to the Public Facilities Authority. As stated in the agenda, basically the meeting, if and when we were to issue bonds, things of that sort, the Public Facilities Authority members, consists of 3, would get together and we would discuss the options that we have as far as going out for any bonds if we wanted to do that. So they don't meet very often. But in this case, we are asking to, because the term expired July 23rd of 2025, so we're asking to go from July 3rd, 2026, and then extend it for 1 year for the next 3 people, which are the same people that have been on the board for the past 2 terms. they offered to be on there again. And the first one is Tom Gray. He is the financial director at the school board, and he was going to be here tonight, but he said he was going to be here at 5:15, so he missed out on in being introduced for that. But so I'm just asking for the board to approve Tom Gray as one of the board members.
Move to approve reappointment of Thomas Gray to the Public Facilities Authority.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Number 9 is also Public Facilities Authority, and I'm asking the board to reappoint Edward Outlaw to the board for his position.
Move to approve the reappointment of Edward Outlaw to the Public Facilities Authority.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Charles, you gonna vote on
Yeah, you voted last time.
that? Well, I see the hand is on your treasurer.
Okay. All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Pardon me?
Eric, you can repeat your question so he'll know.
You know, Ed's a friend of mine, I like Ed.
Oh, I don't do it on like. He raised a question that Ed is listed as my treasurer, and I was asking if I was going to vote and weigh in. I'm asking you for your.
And when I'm typically asked that question, I put it back to the elected official and ask them, are you able to make a vote based upon the information before you with no bias one way or the other?
And my response is I can.
Then you should go forward.
All right, motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And number 10?
Number 10 is also to reappoint Alice Reeves to the Public Facilities Authority for the same term.
Move to reappoint Alice Reeves to the Public Facilities Authority.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
And number 11, I'm guessing this is either Steve or Vanessa. Oh, Phil. Sorry about that.
You're being
Phil.
correct, it's Phil.
You're an august company, though.
Yes. Good afternoon. I think I have the next 3 items. This one is to award a contract to replace a failing storm pipe on Darren Drive. Staff is recommending award to Piedmont Paving in the amount of $1,404,158. This is a very complicated project. We would put back 6 large box culverts, which is probably the largest series of culverts we've used to date. We originally priced it as a bridge and just wasn't feasible from a construction standpoint. Went back and determined this is the way to do it. It's a dead-end street, so the complicating factor is we have to maintain access to the homes. We've worked with Piedmont Paving on many jobs. We're happy with their performance. So I'm seeking for the board to award this contract as written.
Okay, I'll make the motion. Move to approve bid number 26015-B.
Second.
You know, the one thing I saw on this, Phil, is the various bids. And this one is what bothers me is the low bid is 1.4 million. There's only 3 bids, 1.4, and that's the one that we're going to vote on, and that's who I assume who we're going to pick. The high bid is 4.2 million, and we had another bid, and it's almost to $4 million. And when I see that kind of spread, I worry about it. Now, on the next item, the spread is very thin between the various, and I don't understand sometimes why we would get that big of a variance when we're putting a bid out, and we get one that's 3 times as much as the low bid. Now, it doesn't stop us from doing what we're doing because we're going to go with the low bid. It's a qualified bid. But I just wonder what's going on with the contractors when we get a spread like that. The next one I don't have any concern about the next one.
Yeah, it's odd because the same design team consultant prepared both of them. I'm only speculating here, but Piedmont Paving recently got into the precast culvert business where they can manufacture them themselves to all appropriate standards. They were the low bid on the recent tunnel project in Redwine, and we kind of think that was possibly a reason for that. So they're doing a lot of concrete work in-house that others right now are still outsourcing.
And maybe that's
the best explanation, I'm just guessing.
And I'll say this as well. When we see, I call this a Sesame Street problem, one don't look like the others, we do question those. And so we actually call up and talk to the vendors, especially the one, to make sure they have a clear understanding of what the project is. And once we verify that clear understanding that they can meet that requirement, then it's really up to you to decide, are the others including overhead? Are they really interested in it? And those type of factors go into it. But I can assure you, staff as well as the purchasing department have looked at this and determined that they can do exactly what we're asking them to do.
I think it was a media project that we had where we had a guarantee that it didn't matter what the cost was, we would never go over that cost. Media would eat anything above that. Do we have something like that in place with Piedmont? And maybe one of the things is that, I don't know where Piedmont's corporate office is or anything like that. I know that a lot of times they like having something that's close so that the guys can go and do whatever they do at the job site there.
Well, we require performance bonds. I'm sure it's what Ted's jumping up to tell us. So if they start $1 million into this and can't complete it, we still have the $1.4 million we can go grab to complete the project because they have to perform. And then,
Well, I don't think we've been caught. I don't recall somebody coming to us and say, it's going to cost a lot more money to do the project than what we thought it was initially. It may be a lot whenever we first enter into the commitment, but I'm not aware that somebody's been calling us saying it's going to be more.
Yeah, I would say that the price that you award tonight should be the price unless something shows up like unsuitable soils or things like that.
Any other discussion? Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And item number 12, request to award bid number 26016B, stormwater category 2, tier 2, at 19 SBK Mark Lane culvert replacement. Bill?
You've pretty much said most of it. Same thing, we're asking award to the same company. The only thing I want to note here is we are seeking 2 action items from the board. One, to award the contract, and the second, to approve the reallocation of nearly $100,000 from the SPLOST Category 4 to this project. I should have said in the previous project, the construction schedule is for 215 days completion from notice to proceed. This one is a simpler project and it has a schedule of 150 days.
Okay.
So move to approve bid number 29616B to the lowest responsible bidder, which is Piedmont Paving.
Second?
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then
And
we,
the final agenda item is
we
the-
want another motion.
Huh?
You want another motion, right?
we
You
did.
want to reallocate
No,
the money?
I think the way it's written, the approval covered both of
Okay.
those items. I mean,
Okay.
Okay.
if Dennis, you all right with that, or do you want 2 separate votes?
yes.
Okay, Dennis says we're good, thanks.
Okay.
We appreciate that, Chuck. And then finally, a request to accept an $800,000 federal aid grant from the Atlanta Regional Commission for the pre-construction engineering of the Sandy Creek Road and Easton Road, Sam's Drive, Trustin Lake Drive intersection improvement project.
The board authorized staff to seek this federal aid grant about 1.5 years ago, April of last year, just to kind of give it, there were really no unusual delays. It just takes that long to get through the process. We were awarded that money, so we're seeking your acceptance of this. The next step then would be, in a few months, we will come and recommend award of a design contract to a qualified vendor. The estimated total project cost is $5 million. That's just a guess at this point. The design work is $1 million, with the grant being $800,000.
And can I have a motion from the board?
Move to approve the acceptance of $800,000 federal aid grant from Atlanta Regional Commission for pre-construction engineering of the projects as listed.
Second,
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
this appears to be, it's an 80-20 project for the pre-construction.
Yes, sir, and I think that same ratio should apply for right-of-way and construction.
And so when we can turn $20 into $100, then we always want to do that with local dollars and the state dollars or wherever the other dollars come from is what we're doing on this thing.
Yes.
And this is just for pre-construction, obviously, but we'll be seeking other grants when it's ready.
That's right. When we made the application, we certainly told them we're hoping for funding for all phases. They only award one phase at a time, and as the schedule advances, we'll make those applications at the
Thank you.
appropriate time.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And administrator's reports.
I sent you a copy of the hot project update, so you have one that talks about the Parks Recreation Multipurpose Facility, the Stars Mill School Tunnel, the Coastline Bridge improvements, the North Bend Court Culvert Replacement Project, and then the QTS traffic signal and guardrail on Tyrone Road. I also wanted to advise the board that the October 9th meeting would be canceled. We're proposing, staff's proposing we cancel that meeting. We have no agenda items as we sit here today, and there's a lot of folks going to legislative agenda action, so we'd have some issues probably with the quorum as well. We'll post that notice adequately. In addition to that, we've got the digest reconciled, and so we'll be calling for a special call meeting, and Tamika will send everybody an email on October the 16th. The legal requirements require that we have to have two different millage rate hearings, so on the 16th we'll have a hearing, and that's that weird one where we have one at 10 a.m. in the morning and one at 6 p.m. at night, and then you'll actually ratify that millage on October 23rd at our regular meeting. So if you can just make sure you're available in the morning and the evening on the 16th. And then just to recap, because a lot of times people think we're doing something squirrely this time of year. So October 23rd is the only meeting we're going to end up having in October because we just canceled the 9th. And we only schedule one meeting in November and one meeting in December, like we did at the beginning of this year. So that's on November the 13th and December the 11th. So we'll just have 3 meetings before the end of the year. A lot of times when we don't have those 2 meetings during November and December, they think somehow we're changing the agenda that we established at the beginning of the year. So anyway, I just wanted to get those on record, and that's all I have. The 16th will be 10 a.m., and the other one will be at 6 p.m. Those are times mandated by the budget law. That's all I have.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah,
Attorney's
if you
reports.
could vote to cancel the meeting, that will make my
Sure.
attorney very happy.
I'll make the motion to cancel the meeting scheduled for October the 9th.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Steve. Attorney's reports.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. I have 3 items for executive session this evening, 2 for threatened litigation, and the 3rd to review your executive session minutes from September the 11th, 2025. That's all I have, Mr. Vice Chairman.
Thank you, Dennis. Commissioners' reports. Charles.
Gotten some feedback from our residents that the Citizens Workshop is going very, very well, and want to thank the team, the staff, for an outstanding job of relating to our residents and bringing them, making them feel a little bit more comfortable with respect to how we go about spending their money. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. I just have a couple of things. Myself and Steve and Jason just returned from Frisco, Texas. We went there very early Monday morning and came back late last night, but the Development Authority paid for us as well as another, 46 or almost 50 of us on the trip. It was very informative, learned a lot about how Frisco, Texas, which is one of the fastest growing communities in North Dallas and Texas, does development. So I just wanted to express my appreciation to the Development Authority for making that available to us, and I hope that we can continue to work with the Development Authority for development that makes sense for Fayette County. And that's all I have. At this time, can I have a motion to move out of general session into executive session?
Move to enter executive session.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.